Well, because I am. I usually am.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, you started again.
Welcome.
You always do.
Well, it is past 8:30, so I started it. Welcome to Not Your Mother's Advice, episode 12. New and improved episode.
It's improved how? Because
We're
actually wearing lip gloss.
We wore lip gloss. We have a different, we have an Apple computer instead of my laptop.
And why is that?
And because I forgot everything. I'm supposed to bring the camera, the microphone, and the laptop, and I forgot all of them tonight.
Okay.
Well, I have a microphone. So, I mean, there's that.
I had it.
Well, I have one in my car. We both have a microphone, thankfully.
Oh, and my hair is purple.
Her hair is purple. I mean, this is a lot of improvements.
A lot of different things.
So, I have new earrings.
What? Oh, those are pretty.
Yep. And so, there's
Which
that.
girlfriend got you those? Just kidding. Oh, it was me. I know. I'm just kidding.
Anyway, so the reason why it's improved is we sat here the other night and kind of brainstormed on some new ideas. We feel like a little bit revamped on the show and a little bit more, we were getting kind of like, what are you even doing?
It was just all over the place.
It was everywhere. We were, trial and error, and now here we are, and new and improved.
It's time to grow up.
It's time to grow up and get on with things. That's what I say. Who's drinking champagne?
You are.
I am. Yeah, that's good. So we're going to wait for a few more people, or maybe just one person to join.
One more person. I'm going to share it on my personal page really quick.
I'm going to share on my personal page.
Yeah.
So let's see what's new. How's your week been?
Mine? It's been really busy because work, it's the end of the month, so today was the last day of the month.
Right.
And I'm so excited for a new month to start because this month was really terrible for sales.
Yeah.
So now we get to start with a new month.
Mm-hmm.
We have a new GM, and I'm excited for some positive things to happen.
Who is the new GM?
None other than Mr. Dave.
Surprising. I would love to meet him.
Yeah, you should.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good guy. Hi, Rick.
Rick?
We have to talk.
Oh, Amanda, a bit of an apology.
Yeah, you made it seem like me going to church is like, oh my gosh, she's such a terrible person. I can't believe she's at church.
That you did. I do have to agree. Mm-hmm.
That's mean. My parents... Hi, Rick. My parents disown me and my whole family disown me because I don't go to church enough. Even though I still go from time to time, it's just not enough in their book because I don't feel the need to announce all the time that, hey, guess what? I went to church today. Hey, I'm going to church. Hey, I'm going to church. Like, that's literally the first time I've tagged myself at church on Facebook. And it's like, there's a joke, saying about, like, for working out. They're like, oh, if you don't post on Facebook, did it really happen? Well, I guess not. Hi, Linda.
That's my mom's friend.
Oh, awesome. Well, so tonight we're going to cover parenting topics only, unless anyone throws a random question in there. We've covered a lot of relationship type things. We covered financial and bill type things. And then last week we covered just random bad date stories.
Yeah.
Carol said, I haven't gone in months, like 6 months. God loves me anyways. Yes,
he sure does.
He really does.
100%.
And actually tonight it was really, really good. I'll have to tell you about it later. It was actually more about decision making. Mm-hmm. And it was really good. I have some screenshots of some stuff I took. So
perfect.
But yeah, so tonight we're going to cover parenting topics. We got a few questions in, but as we go along, if you have any to add, feel free to just type them on in there.
Rick has lots of questions. Yes. Actually, he sent me a question.
It's because he needs a lot of help.
Yes.
And obviously he needs Jesus too.
Yep. I will have to look up his question in a minute, but we'll just get started. We both have a list of questions that we got. And we're both working on sharing the video.
Sorry, I'm trying to share it on my personal page, so
that more people.
Hi, Haley. So, I miss you.
Marika.
Please
Marika.
Please come see me soon, Haley. Your baby is so cute.
I just saw Marika, oddly enough.
Really? Where?
Yeah. In Lacey. Yeah. So we are going to start with, I'm trying to share this page, but we'll start with one of her questions that she got in so I can finish doing this.
Last week we covered.
Alrighty. So, one person messaged in and said they have a 7-year-old daughter who has been potty trained for a really long time, but every once in a while randomly wets the bed at night. And she wanted to know like what she can do to help her daughter. And this one's kind of a hard one because I think parents think that there's a timetable that their children have to be like potty trained day and night for. Yeah. And a lot of times it does happen sooner than later. Mm-hmm. But sometimes there's some bedwetting. I struggle with this myself, not me, but my child.
That really sounded like she struggles with bedwetting. That's funny what she meant, and then she's like backtracking.
No. I said it, I was like, whoa, that came out.
I struggle with this myself.
No, no, with a child. I mean, obviously there's the obvious things. Yeah, Haley says it's not abnormal for an accident to happen.
6, 7 is like the age where it happens. Yeah, they're still learning how to hold it.
And sometimes they just sleep really deeply, and I think it happens. Obviously, you can do what you can with limiting liquids before bedtime.
What I did, my daughter had a little bit more of it. My oldest had an issue for quite a while, and what we did is limited drinks after dinner. She got like 1 little sip of water, but then we'd get her up before we went to bed and have her go potty, so like at 11 or whatever, and then that would hold her through the night. If we didn't do that, she'd have an accident. So sometimes kids just sleep really hard and they can't wake themselves up.
Yeah. Sometimes they can be overtired. Growing up, I had one friend where the whole reason they found out was because she was lactose intolerant. So certain allergies can trigger that. If you try everything you can think of and it's still an issue, I would say take them to their pediatrician because sometimes there's a bigger issue and you just don't know. So that's a hard one.
Never punish them though, because I know people that punish their kids for it. Like if it's laziness, that's one thing, but if they're just having accidents, like that's really part of being a kid and growing up. And
yeah, by 6 or 7, they don't want to pee their bed. Like they don't
no,
do that on purpose.
Yeah.
Because it's hard if they're going to like sleepovers and you know
have to wear like
trying to hang out,
pull up still.
Yeah, that's hard. How do you curb the back talk? Kids all start at different ages, in different, I feel like some kids do it more than others.
Yep. I think
my kids are angels.
They're perfect. They really are. So with my kids, my youngest doesn't really talk back yet. But my oldest does, and usually she gets 3 chances, and then there's a consequence. So there's like a 3 strikes, you're out kind of thing, and then we've already discussed what the consequences. So, yeah.
That's actually a good one, because my parents were super strict, and there was like no warning. And sometimes it wasn't that I was trying to talk back, it was I was asking like, but why? Because I have to always know the why. And so they wouldn't give me a warning. It would just be like instant punishment. And I was like, okay, but I just was curious. Like, I'm going to do it.
Well, I think there's a difference between curiosity, because sometimes I'll know that she's curious, but other times I'll know it's just like strictly attitude, and I just don't tolerate it. There's just a no way, because I'm the mom. Yeah. You have to be the mom, not a friend.
Yep. Don't feed into it. Shut them down ASAP, then punish after that.
Yep. We just got another question.
And actually, I already had that question too. So multiple people asked this one.
Okay. My child watches YouTube and games on his iPad. What is a good time allowance for an 8-year-old, or really any age?
It's obviously going to be different for different age groups. But
I think that like with my kids, they got their very first tablet for Christmas, and I'm like getting used to like managing that time, and I'm not doing a very good job. But starting
so easy
soon,
to be like, just go play.
I made like a chart where they have to like, they get 30 minutes a day, but aside from that, like they have to do chores to earn a certain amount of time, and there's time slots next to the chores, and they can only earn up to, I think I said, an hour and a half. So because they could do chores all night and be on it for 6 hours. Yeah. That's so I think that tablet time is definitely something to be earned. You just have to figure out what works with your family. And, that's how I feel about it. I don't think it should be given. I think kids spend way too much time. We were just talking about how nobody socializes anymore and everybody has like social issues because nobody talks. Everybody's on their iPad and their tablets and their phones. Deep in their phone. Yeah. So I want my kids to grow up and like know how to socialize and talk. Yeah. And so.
Yeah, I was thinking about on the way home today, some of the questions and how I would answer them. And my kids, I have to say, they do probably watch a lot more TV than they should and look at their phones more than they should and be on a tablet more than they should. So I was thinking about how to pull that back. And I was thinking actually exactly what you said, where they have like ways to earn a little bit more time by doing things that I want them to do. But then also for bad behavior, they can also lose time. So it's like a checks and balances there. So I need to actually make a chart, but
go to Walmart and buy a whiteboard. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Make a chart. Yeah.
We have a question. Have to be how it goes.
What is an appropriate?
Thank you, Chuck. You're always keeping us in check with sound and
everything.
Video quality.
Like,
I love it.
You're our technical.
Yeah, because no one else is gonna say anything
except this guy.
It's like when you got that booger hanging out of your nose, and it's like no one will tell you, and then I'm like, oh, thank you. Thank you for telling me. Thank you.
Why would you tell me that? Like it's an hour and a half later, and I still have my teeth.
How long have I been going on with this booger on my nose? How many people saw this?
Okay, so how do you explain what sex is to an 11-year-old girl? I honestly don't know because my daughter's 11. Is Rick serious right now? Anyway, my daughter's 11 and she's been like kind of curious about like kissing and hugging and what things, like she's been asking questions where I know she's going to ask that question soon. And I just don't know how to explain it other than like when two people really love each other, they like to cuddle and like, I don't really know how to, I have to buy a book because I'm like, I cannot actually explain to her what it really is. I don't think I can do it. I really don't. So, like I was listening to my Boyz II Men Greatest Hits songs the other day and the song I'll Make Love to You came on and my littlest daughter was in the back seat and she's like, Mommy, what does it mean to make love? And I was like,
well, obviously she's not ready for like the whole shebang.
Clearly not. She's 6.
Yes, but if your oldest daughter, because she's the same age as my son, if she doesn't know about it yet or hasn't like heard little bits and pieces here and there, she's going to find out soon from somebody else. And you want that person to be you, right?
100%.
Yes. So my son actually looked stuff up in a library at his school. And so that's how he learned about it, even though I wanted to be the one to talk to him about it. So if she's starting to ask questions, she's either going to look it up on her own because she's super smart, like you.
I'm talking about
she's going to look up. Yeah, your older daughter. Yeah, I'm not talking your younger daughter.
Okay. Yeah, good. I was like, no.
Okay, yeah, she's. You can still kind of like.
I think McKinley and I have the kind of relationship where she's going to come to me, and so I just have to figure out like I need a book or something. I need to Google like what to say because I'm like this is all stuff like I remember health class and I was just like completely taken back, and so we don't really know how to answer that other than like I would read a book on like how to tell kids or there is
a lot of books you can read together.
You can like give to them and read it with them and all that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a hard one because it's like
that's a big
pulling
topic.
off like the whole like iron or the curtain over their eyes of like this is what real life is.
They're gonna be like, Mom, you lied about how we were made.
Like, that's
you lied about how babies are born. Disgusting. I know. I remember my mom told me.
You do that?
Yeah. And my mom told me what it was, and I remember I was like, so Grandma and Grandpa do that. And I was like, my aunt and uncle do that. I was like, oh my God. I went through like the whole fam. It's disgusting. So, but good that it's disgusting because
I know. Yeah. I was disgusted when I found out.
Oh, I was like, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life. Yeah.
Do I have to?
I'm never doing that. That's probably what I said. So, okay. My 7-year-old boy is obsessed with dolls. Is this normal? He does not have a sister. I feel like, it's just, I don't even know. I don't have boys, but I feel like that's not a huge deal, but
it depends on like how he's obsessed with them.
Yeah.
But growing up, like one of my younger brothers, because I was one of 5 kids, he and my mom always had a baby. At some point, it seemed like she just always has a baby.
5 kids in.
Yeah. He wanted to spend quality time with my mom, so whenever she was nursing on the couch, he would grab my sister's baby doll and go sit on the couch and hold his baby doll next to my mom.
Oh,
and it was like he just wanted to have like quality time with my mom because he
totally
had just been dethroned from the baby of the family, and
I totally get that. But that's he has a
yes.
I mean, like
so that's why I was like, it depends on
the situation.
Why? But it's not necessarily that bad. Like, maybe he's just a really nurturing child, and because like
he's just a lover.
Yeah, I mean,
he wants to be a dad.
Yeah, like if a girl wants to play with
G.I.
trucks and cars and GI Joes and tools instead of play with dolls and cooking,
what's wrong with that?
You're not saying there's anything wrong with that either.
No, it's fun.
Maybe he just thinks they're cute. I don't know.
I feel like what is it, 7? I wouldn't be really that worried.
They smell really good.
Yeah, I wouldn't be worried.
The baby dolls.
Until he was like much older, and then I'd be like, why are you still playing with dolls? First of all,
that's what 6 and 7, they're still really young.
Yeah, they're just like they don't really know. Yeah. You want to ask one of your questions?
Oh yeah. Okay. When or what age is it okay to leave my child home alone for short periods of time? Would you like to start? We haven't talked this time about what the other person's questions were either, so these are all surprises.
Yeah, I think like right now my daughter's 11, like we keep talking about, her son is 11. I wouldn't feel comfortable until she was probably at 13. I might like run to the gas station real quick, and I would want her to have like a first aid class first, CPR class. I'd want her to call 911, know my phone number. Like there would have to be certain things that would happen even if I'm gone for 5 minutes. I'm super protective. But I think that at 13, I would start testing the waters with that as long as she knows all emergency numbers and all that kind of stuff. I think that's the difference. I don't know about you, though. What do you think?
I think it, honestly, again, like a lot of these questions, the answer is going to be, it depends on the child.
And also what your comfort level is.
Not every 11-year-old or 13-year-old or whatever age they are, not every child that age is going to be as mature as the next. Or, you know, you have to really figure out a way to make them safe, because that's my biggest concern is like, are they safe?
They're safe.
And also how often do you find out they're doing things behind your back? Like you have to really trust them to not just leave the house or
burn the fire.
Burn the house down, or open the door for strangers. Like you have to have a really good relationship with them to where you know like they're going to do the right thing even though you're not there. So it comes down to integrity and responsibility.
Yeah, even for like 5 minutes.
Ashley says, my 6-year-old has watched girls at school and friends play with dolls, so asked for his own. I feel like it's probably a curious thing. Yeah, I don't think 7's really, it's like a non-issue, I think. Yeah, I mean, if he wants...
You guys
wants to play with it,
that would be like definitely you might want to look into it. But I mean, my daughter Inslee is 6 and she plays with everything. She doesn't really care as long as it's fun. She doesn't really know yet, so I think it's just the age of curiosity and
it's different personalities too. Because like my boys have always had more. They develop friendships with girls easier than other boys their age, and so I don't know. Maybe it's just a personality difference, whereas like they relate better that way. And oh well.
All right. Where is a cheap but nice place to have a birthday party for a 6-year-old in the winter time? Well, my kids were both born in the winter, and so parks and all that is out. I don't think any of us really like Chuck E. Cheese, but Chuck E. Cheese is like super affordable.
Well, they do serve beer now.
Yeah, they serve beer, which is a plus for parents on a birthday party. But they do like 3 pizzas, I think, and 2 soft drinks, and like all this crap, right? And it's like for 15 kids, I think it's $150. So that's pretty cheap. Or I would just suggest having a party at your house and getting like Pin the Tail on a Donkey and all those like fun games. And I don't really know of any other cheap places in town. Charlie's Safari is a good place to have a party, but I've never been to one that the people were happy with it. Like they don't follow through with their end of
they just moved locations.
That might be better.
And I know that it's actually smaller now.
That might help.
So no, I think that's actually
probably not good. I feel like it might help with parties, but you never know. One place that I wouldn't have a child's party ever again is Boom Shaka. I love Boom Shaka, but it was so expensive. So expensive.
That can be, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and the Children's Museum. That's a really place. It was $100, and I had Inslee's party there last year, and we got decorations and time to play and cake and everything. Nice. Yeah.
My boys always love to go to laser tag. And that's actually not too expensive. There's a place in Lacey that's not too bad.
So fun.
And I'll play with them. It's super fun.
Yeah, it's so fun. That's a way better idea.
This kind of piggybacks on one of the questions that I got too of what's something fun to do with your kids during the winter when, it's obviously in Washington, it's rainy, and they need to do things. They can't just sit in the house all the time because now we got to limit their screen time too. So now you got to do things with them.
If you have girls, crafts and cooking. But if you have boys, I don't really know. You might want to teach your boys to cook because one day they're going to have to cook.
My boys love cooking.
Yeah.
There's,
Dorky's is fun.
Yeah, so there's Dorky's, there's, and that's up in Tacoma. They just opened up a Dave & Buster's up in Auburn, I heard. But that's kind of far.
It is fun.
But I'd go.
Yeah, it's worth
it. There's always bowling. Although my kids can't get through a whole match without throwing huge fits because they suck at it.
Yeah. I love to bowl.
And they hate to lose. But I suck too. Like, they beat me most of the time, actually. But they have bumpers, so.
Yeah.
Rick says he likes playing with Barbie.
Rick, you need to put the fireball down. Honestly. It's time.
Rick needs Jesus. That's going to be my new thing now. Sir, you need Jesus. You need Jesus.
My
hashtag YNJ.
YNJ. My kids constantly scream and fight and yell at me. What can I do?
That's similar to the question I had.
7 and 9. Really?
Not at me, but they're constantly fighting with each other.
Yeah.
What do you do? Because I don't know.
Well,
to you, like as the mom, I know how to handle that. But
you do? What would you do if your boys were screaming and yelling at you?
At me?
Yeah. Okay, the right answer is honestly it only takes one time. I think you have to really come down on your kids and be a parent, and it's a zero tolerance. Screaming and yelling and hitting me and all, that's not going to happen. I think it should happen once with kids, and then you come down on them very hard. You do beat their ass. I mean, sorry, but if my kids act out, it takes one spanking and one loss of, McKinley one time, completely acted out. I took her door off. I took everything out of her room. She had no privileges, not even a pillow. I was like, you are not going to treat your mom like that. This is not okay. And that went on for the whole week. And I can say that she never screamed and yelled and did all that kind of stuff again. Same within the store. You're going to humiliate me. I'm going to humiliate you. I think that people forget that they need to be a parent and not a friend.
Yeah. They're trying to be too politically correct.
Hard on their kids and, make them regret it. Because if you do a little timeout or whatever, that doesn't work. You have to be hard ass with kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I struggle with this with Jackson, honestly, because even he flips the frick out.
Let him flip out.
But I come down on him hard, and so does his dad every single time. I don't do it in front of you. But
why?
You have never seen.
I don't care.
When it's just me and him.
If my kids are being sheds, they are going to get.
If it's just me and him.
No, it has to be in front of anybody.
I didn't know. It worries me because some people report you.
Those people
I'll beat my children in front of you.
No, don't beat them.
I'm kidding. But you know what I mean. I don't like to have a whole scene in front of other people, and that's the hard part. Because
you know what though?
Some people will report you.
Okay. McKinley, my daughter, last October, Inslee, who's my 6-year-old, had her birthday party, and McKinley always kind of has this jealousy thing when it's Inslee's birthday, which I get because they're siblings. But she was acting out. There was other kids crying. She was being awful. And so I was like, you know what? And we had a party at my house. Then we went to Boom Shaka. Mm-hmm. So there's 20 of us going to Boom Shaka. And I was like, she was getting her socks ready. And I said, you're not jumping. And she was like, what do you mean I'm not jumping? We're Boom Shaka. I was like, you're not going to talk to me like that. You're not going to treat your sister like that. You're not jumping. So she threw a mega fit. I mean, freaking out. She sat with my parents while we all jumped. But I can tell you, since then, it has been a light switch. There's no attitude like that anymore. She doesn't treat her sister like that. And she still says, remember when I couldn't jump at Boom Shaka? Kids need, the shock factor.
Yeah.
Whoa, mom's serious. and then they will make a change. So you have to not, and my point was, is she threw a fit in front of all those people. And I was like, oh, sorry, I'm the mom. Yeah, you got to do it. And don't be afraid. And if people judge you, then.
Yeah. Most people haven't said anything. The only people who have said things is my parents, actually, oddly enough.
Okay.
In front of them. And they've been like, oh, he's just tired, or oh, he's just hungry. Or,
perfect.
Oh,
well, you're not the mom. That's
whatever.
What I said.
And that's
what bullshit. You're not the mom.
Them too. I've been like,
perfect.
I need to like handle this. And they've been like,
it's up to me.
Come on, just let him do a little bit or whatever. And I'm like,
and
it's so crazy because I remember how hard they were on us. And I'm like,
so grandkids, so they're like that. But still, I'd be like, shut it down. You don't have to deal with them. And really,
they don't even get to see them anymore anyway. So
that's cut off. Do you have any questions? Because the rest of them are kind of sad.
Oh, sad. I don't know, sad. Let's see. Someone messaged and said, I have a 9-month-old and they were just starting to sleep through the night, but then suddenly they're not sleeping through the night and they're waking up just like constantly. It feels like as soon as they get them down, they're just like awake again. And they're like, help, what do I do? I'm so tired. I was excited to have them sleeping through the night.
No, the setbacks like that.
Honestly, I think it's probably it's been a while for the baby stage, but I mean, they could have gas, they could have an upset stomach, they could be teething. They could be going through the growth spurt, because that was a lot of times when my boys woke up a lot when they just needed like extra milk because they were hungry.
Yeah.
Or they
I feel like there's like a cardinal 4 or 5 things they could be. So test those theories out, and then if not, then you're gonna have to let the baby cry it out or it will never sleep. Which is like, I had to get in the shower when that would happen because I cannot listen to my baby cry.
I always just
and not pick it up.
I just always let them.
That's a good trick for
be on me constantly.
Let the dad get the baby while you take a shower and you're not listening to the crying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also, I know that when they go through and they're learning something new, like if they're learning how to crawl, if they're learning how to walk, like new big steps, they'll wake up a lot at night because their brain is on overload with the new information and they just don't sleep good anymore. Yeah. So there's a lot of things it could be. Mm-hmm. So just give them.
And when you get them up, if they're not hungry and they aren't, they don't need changed and nothing's wrong, then just they have to cry it out. That's my only. You put it back in bed.
I was too nice to my kids.
My kids were sleepers though because I did that.
My kids sleep like crazy now. I can't wake them up in the morning for school. Actually, that's a good question too. I cannot get my kids up for school in the morning. Like, I'm literally in the mornings being like, we have to leave in 1 minute. Get out of bed. Get up now. Like you can't wake me or make me late for work again, or you can't be late for school again. Like,
I feel like that's every mom's problem. It's like, honey bun, get up, start going to school, and then Timmy's like, get up, it's time to go to school.
The first time it's nice. The second time is, we're leaving in 10 minutes.
I'm serious.
The next time, 5 minutes. Oh my gosh, here's all your clothes. Put them on.
And then you'll be like, okay, now that you've waited 20 minutes to get up, now you have to brush your teeth and put your shoes on and stuff for like 5 minutes. And then you go back in 5 minutes and they're still
asleep
at the toothpaste. It's like,
my kids like literally
sleeping.
I'm like, we were supposed to leave right now. Get up. And they're still drooling.
Kids will totally, they just want to make you crazy. And then they're like, what's wrong?
I think that comes back to like the checks and balances of like screen time.
Yeah.
You can be like, hey, if you don't get up right now.
That's what you should say. Get up. You want to go on your tablet?
You want to go on your tablet later? Then you better get up now.
Yeah, that's smart. Okay, so this question is like a little turn in, somebody honestly asked, how do I convey to my son that his father has terminal cancer? He has about a year left. Our son is 9 years old.
Ooh, that's,
go ahead.
A hard one. Thanks for surprising me with that one.
It's that.
Obviously you need to have the talk sooner than later, because if you keep putting it off, they're just going to be really surprised and not have time to deal with it. Like, so if you have like 1 year left, that's not a lot of time in the grand scheme of things. Mm-mm. And if you keep waiting and waiting and waiting, then it's just
prolonging the inevitable.
Yeah, it's just prolonging the fact of that you have to talk about it. You're just going to have to sit down and maybe just like with the sex talk, maybe there's books for this thing where you can read it together, or after you break the news and you can be like, we're going to talk about this. And maybe family counseling, but then also like make it not super negative, and
we get to spend all this time together.
Make a list of all the things that you want to do, like a bucket list for that year.
Yeah.
And it definitely sucks, but obviously you just have to do what you can with the situation.
I would get a book. I know there's books out there because I've seen them. I would think about definitely like a family. If it were me, I would probably go to a counselor first to ask, like, what would be the best way to tell my child this in an honest way where I'm protecting his feelings, but also making him aware of what's really about to happen.
Yes.
I would do a bucket list. I think that's a great idea. I think children should be included as hard as it is. I think they should always be included in that process because it's a loss for everybody. And it depends on the kid. And that's why I think a counselor would be helpful, especially in something like that, grief counseling. I don't know. I deal with that a lot in my job, only it's usually something else like dying from a brain tumor or something like that. And it's usually a child dying. So I don't know how to convey to a child that somebody else is dying other than just like doing the best I could possibly do. I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah, that would be unimaginably hard.
Yeah.
All right, Jacqueline, can you say hi? Can you go check on Kaden for a second? We're almost done, sweetie. I actually was talking before the show because my kids were being nuts, and I was saying we should just have the kids sit in and ask the questions and then have them answer.
Maybe sometime.
That'd be funny, though.
That would be funny, but I think it should be like funnier questions. Like
not these necessarily, but so on another serious note, someone else messaged in and said they found out that their daughter is 12 and smoked weed at a friend's house because they found it and wanted to try it. And they want to know what they should do.
Well, it kind of depends on what the policy is with the household, because some people are like, if they're watching their parents do it, it would really depend. For me, if I found out my child did that at another friend's house, well, I want to call the parents and be like, were you watching the kids, or what was going on? Did you, what happened? Yeah. And then it would kind of depend. I would gauge off of them how I would punish my daughter. Like if it was her, that it was her idea, the kid, the other girl's idea, but the fact that she did it, even if it's somebody else's idea, she would be in trouble for it. And I would really discuss with her the effects of things like that when you're younger, and it's, not something you do till you're an adult. And I don't think I'd yell and scream or anything, but it'd be a very heated conversation and a very pointed conversation about that we're not going to be doing that anymore. It's not acceptable. And I would definitely talk to the parents because I don't really know how that happened.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's just like alcohol. There's an age where you can start doing it for a reason. So, it's just like if they were drinking alcohol, it's a huge deal because it's not okay when you're that age. It's too young.
Yep, way too young.
Yeah.
What is an appropriate punishment for my son that constantly uses cuss words over and over? He is 7. 7 is a big age. It's feeling like a lot of questions about 7.
There's a lot of stuff going on there. They're really starting to come into themselves. We're about 6 or 7.
I feel like I would redirect it once. Like my kids have, they've said bad words, and I make it clear, that's a mommy word or whatever, and I try not to say those words. But if they're doing it over and over again, they know that it's wrong, then they need to definitely be in trouble and be held accountable. I don't know how I'd handle that because I've never been through that, but they would definitely be suffering some consequences. No tablet time. For sure. Yeah. Sorry,
I'm laughing because there was a sticker on something that said may cause diarrhea. And I put it on my son's phone earlier today.
Did you see that?
No, it's kind of too bright. Tilt it a little bit. There you go. It's really tiny though. It says may cause diarrhea, consult a physician if it doesn't stop or something like that. And so I put it on my son's phone, and he finally just found it, and he put it on one of the drinks. The sticker.
Clever. Really clever.
Bad language, that would be another punishment. I would give him a warning and be like, hey, Like, because sometimes kids just repeat things that they hear.
You know what a good thing is for something like that? Because it's like, how do you punish
Tide
them?
Pods.
No.
Wash their mouth. That was so
No. Take away their tablets or their video games and have them spend the evening writing sentences. I will not say shit, or I will not to my mom anymore. Like, McKinley's had to write hundreds of sentences.
I will stop fucking cussing.
Yes. She had to write so many sentences there for a while because she was doing the same kind of thing and attitude and all that. And I was like, no, you can spend your night writing sentences.
Yeah, and actually that reminds me of another answer for a prior question where it was, what do you do when your kids are just fighting constantly? I actually make them write sentences. And I don't pre-write them for them. I say you have to write 5 things that you like about your brother. And that's really hard to do when you're fighting with your sibling. Because I was thinking, man, if I was a kid, that would be pure torture if I had to write 5 things about my sister or brother that I was just fighting with. So
I'd make them write 5 things about each other, and then I'd make them write 25 that I will not fight with my brother, and I will not whatever.
I do send it. I do a pre-written one after that where it's like it depends on what they were fighting about or what happened. Sometimes it's I need to treat people the way they want to be treated. Hey, Dexter Lucy.
Another good thing that I did with my girls when they were so younger, but they would just like fight, and they still do. I made them a shirt, and I put it on Facebook, but it says the Get Along shirt, and it's like a large white t-shirt, and one had to wear one side and the other and like hold each other, and they would just be like, we're not cuddling, and I was like, yeah. And like after 5 minutes of cuddling and you know the shirt, they'd totally be like, I love my sister. And like, So
I think it's hard with that age gap too, because even kids close together fight, but it's more of like a rivalry. But with the age gap that we have, they're like 5 years apart because both of our kids are 6 and 11, and so are hers. Yeah. And they are very separate in what they like to do and what even stage they're in. Yeah. Like my older one is starting to get into tween age stuff, and then the younger one is like that big age of 6, 7, where they're just figuring out what's going on with life.
Yeah. My 11-year-old, she wants to do her own thing. Yeah. Well, it kind of depends. She's actually a really good sister, but you can tell she's kind of getting into the preteen thing, and Inslee's just still all about like pretend and babies and Barbies, and she wants her sister to play there all the time. And
I know. I think what time is it? Please don't, Jackson. I have one last question I'd like to ask. But other than that, I have some other questions, but I think we can save them for another time.
Yeah, me too.
Because I feel like we're going a little bit long right now. If you guys have any other questions that you want to add in right now, feel free to. Oh, there's a bunch more now that we scroll down.
Memorize a page in the dictionary. That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, my parents.
He's like, his kids are grown and they're good kids. So
my parents used to make me write pages out of the dictionary and encyclopedias.
Why not?
Like I know, but it's like I got 1 hour.
Afraid to parent now.
I got 1 hour of TV time every week on a Saturday. If like 50,000 conditions were met, like there was so many things that I could do or not do to get just no TV time for you, and it was like that 1 hour, and an hour goes by so fast.
You know what I just thought of is the other day, my kids were playing on their tablets again. I was like, you've got to get off your tablets. And I was like, you need to go outside and play. And they're like, outside? Like, what do we do outside? And I was like, you know what? That's crazy that kids think that. I was like, get outside. And they made like a fort, and they made a little house. They played for probably like 2 hours. I think the kids, even if it's raining, like put a coat on and go outside and play. That's what we did.
That's what rain boots are for.
Yeah.
Ashley said, yes, sentences. That was the worst punishment as a child to me.
Oh, I hated it.
I hated it too. But
I would bawl my eyes out.
My parents would go back through too and figure out every single letter or word that was not like perfectly written, and they would circle it, and I would have to go fix it.
If I got caught once, like I'd write like I.
Yes,
and they'd be like, nope, start over. No, got caught. And then the other punishment that I don't think we do as much now is like this one time I was 5 and I was taking a bath, and I got out of the bath and my hair was like, and I had like little hairs all over me because I was wet. And they're like, did you cut your hair? And I was like, no, I didn't. And they're like, we're going to see you again. Did you cut your hair? Don't lie. And I was like, I did not. And I kept going, and they're like, all right. And I got my mouth washed out with soap. You don't lie.
I've had my mouth washed out with soap
disgusting.
So many times.
The thought of it is just like, ugh, it's so gross.
Yeah.
Even just like biting it, it's like, It's so bad.
It's worse than like the Bean Boozled
game. It actually
Jelly
is.
bean
I'd rather
game.
play Bean Boozled than I would.
Actually,
because you can rinse that out real quick.
No, I'd rather have soap. I actually threw up. I was playing Bean Boozled the other night,
You
and
probably got like the dog food and the throw up one. Though,
I got the dog food and the rotten cheese and the rotten milk all in one mouthful, and I puked in my sink. Like I
would
eating.
too. It's not a good game to play when you've been drinking either. It's just it doesn't mix well. So anyway,
Haley said, give him lots of love and support. Be there for him, but give him time to process. Have lots of answers ready available if he has questions. What was that?
I did not blacklist my dad, Rick. He doesn't know how to watch a Facebook Live video. That's the problem.
He'd be here if he could figure it out.
Okay. So
Haley said it happens with babies. Their brains are ever changing and their sleep schedules change. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I have one last thing I wanted to cover, and then we'll be done. I promise.
Okay.
Another person asked, what is a good way to connect with my child? They feel like they're just kind of like drifting off into
get off your phone and have a conversation.
Into teenagehood, though, and at that age,
I would have my child make a list of things that they would enjoy doing with me, and then we'd pick like one a week, and we go on like a little date together. No phone, no tablet, no electronics, and just engage in conversation and talk and do something they enjoy. So, anyway, it's time that we wrap it up. That was episode 12. So we're episode 13 is actually, I'm really hoping it's going to be on location and it'll be a lot more entertaining. We're really excited to kind of make some changes there.
Yes.
So thanks for watching.
And we can start doing it at Kara's house again soon.
We can do it wherever. We're going to do it on location. So anyway, Thanks for watching. Follow us on YouTube, share our page, and then our Not Your Mom's Device clothing will be out in about 2 weeks. So you can shop and support us. All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.